You okay, Rarity? Rainbow asked. Yes, no, I need to find it. Ah, here it is. I knew it was in there somewhere, she said as she pulled out a necklace with a wide gold band and a heart-shaped fire ruby at its center. Isn't that the ruby Spike gave you 3 years ago when he turned into that giant dragon monster? Twilight asked her. Yes, it is. I'm going to give it back to him. I'm undeserving such a generous gift. Maybe this will help him forgive me, Rarity informed him. Okay, I'm ready to go. The 6 friends made their way back to the balloon, and while Twilight, Rarity, and Applejack, and Pinkie climbed into the basket, Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy both grabbed a rope and flew off towards Canterlot as fast as they could, with the balloon in tow. The balloon had sprung a leak, and they had to land to make repairs. By the time they reached the palace, the sun was already starting to set. Landing in the palace garden, they were met by Princess Luna. Hurry, coming to the drawing room. Celestia can't keep the moon from rising forever. The ponies ran through the palace, bursting into the drawing room. In the middle of the room, they found Spike as a little dragon yet again. Unlike the day before, all the dragon's scales had returned, but their shine was gone. Each and every scale on his body had lost its luster, and shone faded in the failing light. Spike! Twilight and Rarity ran to him. Both mares wanted to hold him forever and never let him go. Twilight was a little taken aback when Princess Luna unexpectedly blocked both of their paths. Please, you must stay away from him right now. Twilight looked beyond the princess and saw Spike's little body breathing shallow and rapidly. Tears were in Rarity's eyes. Spike looked as though he'd been fighting to hold on to whatever life was left in his little body. What's wrong with him? Rarity asked her pleadingly. Spike has become a werepony. Holding the moon and the sun at twilight has been rough on him. Celestia is going to let the moon rise, then you can go to him, Luna informed her. A werepony? They all asked in unison. Yes, a werepony, Celestia said as she walked into the room. Are you okay, sis? Yes, I'll be fine. I just need a little rest, Celestia addressed the 6 ponies around her. A werepony is very rare. It can only happen to young dragons. When a dragon is shedding his scales, like Spike was, he becomes vulnerable. If during this time he or she is bitten by a pony, suffering from ponypox, he can be infected. The only cure is a spell performed by 4 casters. Well, that's oddly specific, Incubi stated. Why 4? Twilight asked. The amount of magic necessary to break the curse and seal Spike into his true form is so taxing that 1 or even 2 spellcasters alone could die in the process, Luna explained. That's why 4 are needed. Spreading the strain out is simply safer. Oh no, this is all my fault! Twilight cried out. While Celestia and Luna had been explaining the situation, the moon had risen, and Spike again exploded in a cloud of purple smoke and scales. When the smoke cleared, Spike was again a pony, but he seemed a lot more tired than the night before. No, Twilight, Spike reassured her. This is not your fault, Spike said as he got to his hooves and stretched out. You couldn't have known, and even if you did, it's not so bad being a pony. You may like being a pony, but you can't stay that way, Luna said reluctantly. Why not? Spike asked. Spike, you're a dragon, Luna explained. Changing into a pony every time the moon comes up, it's a terrible strain on your body. However, I will not force you. You can either return to being a dragon, or you can stay the way you are now, but you must understand, changing back and forth between pony and dragon is very harmful, and will significantly shorten your lifespan. How much? He asked her. Luna looked to her sister. Spike, your particular species of dragon can live for a couple 100 years. But if you choose to stay this way, your lifespan will be reduced to only 10 years at most, and that's only if you're careful. The ponies in the room gasped in surprise. Spike stood there, frozen in shock. Is that all? He asked, his voice shaking with emotion. I'm sorry, Spike, Luna said, giving him a hug. We're not trying to scare you, but this is how it is. If you choose to stay a dragon, you have to wait till you change back. I want you to really think about this, but don't take too long. The longer you stay like this, the harder it will be to change you back. Even with our combined ability, after a week, we won't be able to cure you at all. With that in mind, I'm giving you 2 days to decide. Spike stared at the ground, thinking hard, unwilling to acknowledge Rarity's presence. I have a question, Rainbow Dash said. Spike is a baby dragon, but as a pony he looks as grown up as the rest of us. That's because he is. You see, Spike is only 5 years younger than Twilight, and as a dragon, that makes him still a toddler. When he changes into a pony, he first takes his age into account, and transforms him into a pony approximately 18 years of age, Celestia explained. While the others were busy asking questions of Princess Celestia, Rarity could only stare at the purple stallion with regret. Luna leaned over to Rarity. "Rarity, will you attend me, please?" she asked softly. Rarity followed Princess Luna to a secluded chamber off of the main room. "Have a seat, please." Rarity sat on a cushion, opposite the princess. "I don't think I have to tell you how upset I am with you at the moment." Rarity remained silent. Luna sat on a cushion and sighed. "I feel sorry for Spike. It's not just the curse that's hurting him. My moon is also part of this, but I can't keep the moon from rising. I can delay it, but it will have to rise. I've always wanted my moon to inspire beauty, and in this instance it brings pain, and every time it rises, Spike will be hurt." "I'm sorry, Princess. I didn't realize," Rarity apologized. Luna glared at her slightly. "There was a great many things you did not realize. You did not realize you were destroying the feelings of another. You did not realize that words could hit as hard as hammers when they are chosen incorrectly and in haste. It's not me you should be apologizing to. You have hurt Spike greatly, and because of his feelings for you, I don't think any pony would ever hurt him as badly as you have." Rarity began to sob. "I'm so sorry. I didn't know what I was saying," Rarity confessed. "To see him like that, hanging on to life. If he returns to being a dragon, will he stay that weak? Every day be a struggle for him?" "No. If he returns to his true form, he will regain his strength, his vitality, and live out his life as if nothing had happened," she answered. "And if he stays the way he is?" the White Unicorn asked. "Is it true what Princess Celestia said?" "It is as my sister said. If Spike remains a werepony, every day will find him weaker than the one before. Eventually, Spike will become bedridden, and one day he will simply slip away," the princess said with a heavy heart. "Rarity, I do not intend to make things more difficult, but my sister has explained to me what happened 3 years ago on Spike's birthday, and I've read Twilight's report of what happened. I have to ask, the jewel you're wearing around your neck, is it the same one Spike gave you?" "Yes, it is. I brought it with me to give back to Spike. After the way I've treated him, I don't deserve a dinner's gift such as this," she said. "Under the circumstances, I believe that would be an extraordinarily bad idea," Luna said. "Why is that, Your Majesty?" "When you look at that gem around your neck, what do you see?" Princess Luna asked. "I see a rare treasure given to me out of selflessness. It's beautiful and flawless and perfect. Then, when Spike gave it to me, what he said, I don't think I'll ever forget it. He said this beautiful gem was meant to be with me. It was supposed to be Spike's birthday dinner, but he gave it to me instead." "Don't fool yourself, Rarity. According to Twilight, Spike had been cutting and shaping that stone for months. I'm sure you know that fire rubies are not heart-shaped by nature. You knew the second you saw that gem, you'd be enthralled by it. To be honest, I didn't think Spike had it in him. He was afraid of you rejecting the gift, so he made up the subterfuge about it being his dinner. It really was a clever way for him to give you something he's wanted to give you for some time now. His heart." Rarity was at a loss for words. "I didn't know. All I saw was the gem. I wore it around like a trophy, and then I verbally trampled his heart last night," she said. "Why didn't Twilight tell me?" "She couldn't. Before Spike would tell her anything, he swore her to secrecy. The only one she was allowed to consult on the matter was Celestia or myself, but Twilight has always had a preference for Tia," the other one said, a hint of sadness in her voice. "Do you think you will ever forgive me?" Rarity asked her. Luna wiped a tear away from Rarity's cheek with her wing. She placed a hoof on her shoulder and looked Rarity in the eye. "Whether he forgives you or not is entirely up to him. Now dry those eyes and let's get back into the other room." Rarity wiped her eyes and followed Luna back into the drawing room. The others were there, waiting for her, but the only pony Rarity could see was Spike. Rarity trotted right up to Spike, but before she could say anything, he turned his back on her and started walking toward the door. "Spike, please don't walk away." "Why are you wearing that thing?" he asked sharply. "I'm sure that Twilight or one of its princesses has told you the real story behind it. Twilight never could keep a secret. I know it doesn't mean anything to you, so why did you keep it? You gave this to me, Spike, and I've always treasured it. I couldn't possibly get rid of this. She tried to tell him, but Spike was still so angry. Keep it, cut it, sell it, throw it away. I don't care anymore. Do whatever you want, Rarity. It's what you're good at. Spike turned around and faced her, tears of pain in his eyes. You know, you tried to hook up with Bluebud again. You and him are exactly the same. Shallow, superficial, vain, and self-centered. Spike, that's not fair, Twilight said. Fair? I'll tell you what's not fair. For 5 years, I do everything for her, and ask nothing in return except for a little consideration. I did everything from digging the dirt for gems for you, Rarity, taking out your garbage. Heck, I was a pincushion for you. When the Diamond Dogs took you prisoner, I led the charge outnumbered against foes 4 times my mass. I gave up going to parties and events to watch Sweetie Belle and her friends, while you went out with the others and left me behind. I did everything for you, and you treated me like dirt. I never once gave up hope that maybe, somehow, some way, you and I could be together. Spike turned again and walked toward the door. I should be thanking you, Rarity. You finally opened my eyes, so I could see you for who you really are. I'm done with you. Go crush someone else's heart. You've already destroyed mine. Spike ran out of the room and headed for the tower room he and Twilight used to share all those years ago. I'm actually really surprised I made through that last paragraph in one take. I mean, in one straight take, not like only one take, but like straight. I think I did like 2 takes. Yeah. By the way, that was chapter 2. I'm done. I'm not reading anymore. I'm actually just doing the outro. But yeah, this was the shortest chapter in this story. Next chapter is going to be fun, because it's the longest. Yeah. Our first base drop is probably one that I seem to be reading faster. Because, it took me about 30 minutes to read the first chapter of this story, and it was like 5,000 words, and then it took me about 30 minutes to read the first chapter of our first base drop, and that chapter was about 6,000 words, so I think I'm reading that one a little bit faster. Yeah, there's a lot of bloopers in this one.